returned to the Oval Office one the abduction of the president of Venezuela and threatening to take Greenland. With the motto, drill, baby, drill, he opened more than 2.5 million square kilometers of ocean for offshore drilling, signaling an end to federal environmental protections. He reversed at least 30 Biden-era climate policies by executive order. Trump's year wasn't without scandal. He pardoned more than 1,500 people charged or convicted in the January 6th Capitol attack. And despite a bipartisan law requiring disclosure, his Justice Department released less than 1% of the Epstein files. Most of his claims failed PolitiFact's fact checks. Just as he completes the first year of his second term, 42% of Americans approve of his work, 5 points lower than at his inauguration. But year two in office will...
The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Kamal.
I'm Enzo.
I'm Doc.
It's Mia.
And tonight on the new party, that clip, very first clip you guys saw was a summary of the backlash that Trump faced while he was overseas in Davos, Switzerland for the NATO conference that they had. And the second clip was facts, depending on how you look at it, of his first term. So, Enzo, is that everything you voted for?
The propaganda? Yeah. I'm all for the propaganda that's going to be put out there. I mean, like, where do I begin with the bullshit that was stated? Talk about the Nobel Peace Prize, but he bombed 400 had like 400 strikes. Motherfucker, Obama did 65,000 strikes and got the Nobel Peace Prize, and nobody mentioned the strikes. Pardoned the 1,500 people who were wrongfully accused. Yeah, there was about maybe like 100, 200 of them that assaulted cops. Not every single one of them. I I don't even know where else to go with that. Listen, you're gonna have liberal media put up liberal bullshit to try to bash Donald Trump, but if a Democrat was in office, they could have literally slaughtered somebody on the White House lawn, and they would have said it was justified.
Well, he took a lot of heat this week in Davos. Let's listen to the Prime Minister of Canada and what he had to say about Trump and everything going on in the world.
It seems that every day we're reminded that we live in an era of great power rivalry, that the rules-based order is fading, that the strong can do what they can and the weak must suffer what they must. And this aphorism of Thucydides is presented as inevitable, as the natural logic of international relations reasserting itself. And faced with this logic, there is a strong tendency for countries to go along to get along, to accommodate, to avoid trouble, to hope that compliance will buy safety. Well, it won't. So what are our options? In 1978, the Czech dissident Václav Havel, later president, wrote an essay called The Power of the Powerless. And in it, he asked a simple question: how did the communist system sustain itself? And his answer began with a greengrocer. Every morning, this shopkeeper places a sign in
Oh my God, this guy is so boring. So you want to know something? A liberal friend of mine watches the show, and they're like, you got to see the clip from the Prime Minister of Canada. It's life-changing. And I'm like, okay, so I find the clip. He almost just put me to sleep. Come on, what do you think? Did you hear anything he said?
Not really. That shit was a snooze fest. But Enzo, bro, we got enemies in the chat, man. Shit, they going at you, going at me. God damn. Ryan, play nice now, bro. You know what happens.
I love having haters.
Man, they hating on us today in the chat. God damn. But yeah, that was, I don't know what bro talk about. That was very lackluster. You feel me? Did y'all hear about Denmark though today with Greenland? Or y'all?
Yeah, we gonna talk about that next.
Okay.
We get to Greenland next, but all right. I got this clip. This is for Kamal and Mia. This is your governor, Kamal. This is what he had to say.
They're going to try to take.
Oh, here we go.
Down. Not just my state.
Why was he
I'm
there?
not naive about what I've said this morning.
Because he has
and
the
how that'll
fourth
be
largest
reflected
economy in
the
the
official
world.
White House account. I'm not naive about the fact that he threatened to prosecute the Fed chief in the United States of America, who's literally going after his enemies with the FBI and the DOJ and these power ministries. I'm not naive about any of this. I'm not naive about the corruption and the graft at a scale we've never seen in American history. I'm not naive about folks writing billion-dollar checks to Witkoff, to Jared Kushner, for this new peace deal they're announcing today. I'm not naive about the fact the President of the United States made $1.5 billion+ in the last 12 months, personally. How the hell are we putting up with this?
Mia, why is poor Gavin Newsom and the blue people putting up with this? How dare they?
I want to know where all the money went that California spent on their homeless. I think it was over $20 billion. And the outcomes for the homeless after injecting tens of millions of dollars into California, literally enough money to house every single homeless person on the streets of California today, they still ended up with over 6 figures more on top of what they started with. So, I mean, don't throw a stone through live in a glass house, buddy. I'm sorry. Those without sin shall not cast the first stone. What about that high-speed rail that you were supposed to build where there's like 2 concrete barriers and a crackhead hanging out? I want to know what happened to that. It's very interesting to me that people who think they are doing something when they have nothing to show for what they've done. I mean, California has had 2 oil refineries close because their overregulation and expensiveness is now, no matter the oil situation in the United States, California will never see oil under $3, period, because they don't have enough refineries to refine the oil, because Gavin Newsom has made it so difficult for businesses to thrive. California has a net negative more people are leaving California than going to them. So it's interesting to me where people who, economically speaking, he's a terrorist. He is a literal economic terrorist for California. He inherited $60 billion surplus, and now they're like $300 billion in the net negative. So he needs to shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down. No.
Kamal, as somebody that lives there, what's your thoughts?
Mia, you right, but I can't keep having you shit on California now. I mean, I'm out here now. You feel me? You right about everything, but damn. Shit. Hey, look it. We know where the money went, y'all. It went to Gavin Newsom hair products and skincare. It went to that shit. All right. And Mia, you right. The homeless problem out here. I'm in San Diego and shit got worse. But if you homeless in San Diego, you kind of cool because I mean it don't rain too much out here. The sun be shining. You could go to the beach. You feel me? Now if you up north in NorCal, it's a little different. It rain a lot out there and shit. You feel me? So yeah, I'm just saying, like,
convinced me to move to Cali and be homeless.
You know what's crazy is if Gavin Newsom was short and fat, nobody would listen to him. 99% of the reason why people listen to him, and he's constantly in the polls, they all say this. Like every metric of data says it's because he is tall and attractive. But if he was an ugly man who was poor with a fat wife and fat ass kids, nobody would care. He would not even have a fraction of the clout, and he probably would not have won re-election. Half the reason that he's in his position, and the data reflected that last year, is because he's attractive.
I got this clip for you, Doc. We're going to get you in here. This was Trump's response to that boring prime minister.
Golden Dome that's going to, just by its very nature, going to be defending Canada. Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your prime minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us. Canada lives because of the United States. Remember that, Mark, the next time you make your statements.
So basically, I couldn't handle this snooze fest, Doc, but let me tell you what he pretty much said in his statement that was long and drawn out. He was saying that you shouldn't be silent and complicit, because if you're silent and complicit, either way, the big bad Donald Trump is going to get you. He was alluding it was Trump that he was talking to. So Trump's response to that is, well, when we build the protection in the Iron Dome, you will be protected. What's your thoughts to that, Doc? What's your response to Trump?
I hate to agree with Trump, but only reason I hate to agree with him is because he said it so snarky, but he's 100% right. You know what I'm saying? I only hate to agree with him because of the tone in which he said it. You know what I'm saying? Because it makes Americans come off like assholes. When we go places, people think Americans are assholes, and he don't do us no justice saying it that way. But Canada is protected because they are, they are a neighboring country of the United States. They should have no disillusions about that. No one's afraid of Canada. I've been to train with some Canadian soldiers before. No one would be afraid of Canada. It's just like he's right on point with that. And I think they are on point, and they know that. Most Canadians know that. I mean, Canadians are nice, agreeable people. They're hey, you're from the States, hey, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? Trump hit him right on the head, but I hate that he said it like that because everybody thinks you could be an asshole when you're American sometimes.
Well, speaking of a-holes, another little Frenchman insulted Trump. Let's watch.
Fix the war in Ukraine. We have to help the Ukrainians to resist and find a sustainable peace. We have to fix prosperity in democracies. I mean, it doesn't make sense to have tariffs and be divided. And even to threaten now with additional tariffs. The crazy thing is that we can be put in a situation to use the anti-coercion mechanism for the very first time vis-à-vis the US if they put additional tariffs. Can you imagine that? This is crazy. I do regret that. But this is a consequence of just unpredictability and useless aggressivity. So what we have to do is to to remain very calm, all of us. We have such an agenda with so many opportunities and so many challenges. So let's be focused on peace in Europe. Everybody should be focused to help the Ukrainians to have a sustainable peace. Level playing field and fixing the issues and these imbalances with China, because it's an issue for the Europeans and the Americans. And third, let's be focused on more competitiveness in Europe and this big acceleration, full stop.
Actually, he was at the World Economic Forum. Let me correct myself. I'm sorry, guys. It's all the same. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It doesn't matter. But anyways, Enzo, what's your response? He's saying this is what we should be focused on. Should, what do you think? Do you think we're going to remain in NATO, or will we finally cut off this drain on our economy and our country and our taxes?
That was Macron, right?
Yes. The little French man.
I think it's very, very tough talk that the French are saying that we need to back up Ukraine. When has the French ever really done anything after Napoleon? They've literally raised the white flag in every single war that they've ever been in. They've been bailed out of every single war. That anything after Napoleon or helping the United States in 1776, they have not been relevant on the world stage whatsoever. The only reason they're relevant is because they're a nuclear power right now. My humble opinion on NATO altogether, that is a relic of the Cold War past that should be dissolved altogether. There's no reason to have it whatsoever. The only country to ever invoke Article 5 was the United States after September 11th. But I mean, we could have handled Afghanistan by ourselves anyway, with the way that it all went down. And as you could see with 2003 as well, nobody really went in there to help us. So I don't think we should be in NATO. I don't think we should be helping Ukraine whatsoever. I think the world should be having better ties with our adversaries, because if, Clinton didn't do what he did, Russia would not be our adversary for the last 30 years, and NATO did what they did. We wouldn't be in all these wars. And at the end of the day, Europe really just needs to abide by the United States. I'm sorry to say it like that, because if it wasn't for us, like Donald Trump said in his speech in Davos, they'd be speaking German and they'd be speaking Japanese, a little bit of Japanese right now if it wasn't for us. So,
exactly. Yeah, those are all very good points. The other thing that happened at the Economic Forum, let's see what the CEO of BlackRock had to say.
That outside the United Nations, this is the largest gathering of global leadership of the post-COVID period of time. For many people, this meeting feels out of step with the moment. We hear all about the elites. And how does that play out in an age of populism? How does an established institution make a difference in an era of deep institutional mistrust? And there's some truth to the critique. I believe in this forum for a long time. I certainly wouldn't be leading this if I didn't believe that we can change and make the world better. But it's also obvious that the world now places far less trust in us to help shape what comes next. If the World Economic Forum is going to be useful going forward, it has to regain that trust.
Mia, does the world trust the World Economic Forum? Why or why not?
No. We all see it's a globalist agenda. The World Economic Forum is only looking out for the globalists. There's nothing redeeming. There's no redeeming qualities about the World Economic Forum. We knew the man that led the last World Economic Forum ended up getting arrested on charges. So, I mean, it's all just a corrupt scheme. And Larry Fink he runs BlackRock, which we can tie to all sorts of the world's atrocities. So why am I going to listen to what I would consider a literal demon walking on this planet who has ruined the United States plus other places to lead the charge and trying to get people to believe that they mean well? These are the same people that told us we should be eating bugs instead of beef. That having Yup. These are the people that said we should be eating bugs instead of beef. These are also the same people that tried to tell us that farming was bad and that gardening was bad and we will own nothing and we will enjoy it. These are those people that literally say this on that same economic forum. So these people are batshit crazy if they think they're ever going to get any semblance of trust back.
Yeah, I mean, those are valid points. And this young lady right here, she explains the World Economic Forum as well.
Economic Forum has been around longer than I've been alive. It started with noble intentions. Has it been used and abused over time, especially by corporate greed? Their biggest members and contributors are the World Trade Organization, people affiliated with China, the United Nations, the World Bank. And so how do they all work together along with Larry Fink and BlackRock? What are their
So Kamal, what's your thoughts on the World Economic Forum? Should we trust them or don't?
Man, I ain't trusting no motherfucker to tell us we need to eat bugs. Have they ate bugs? Shit. The hell? What type of bug? We talk about crickets, roaches? What the hell are they talking about? Like, it's okay. It's a little more healthier than beef. Get your silly ass out of here with that bull jive. No, I don't trust them at all after hearing that. Nah, but I will say this though, I ain't gonna lie, we sounding like bullies on this panel today. We done said Canadian bacons, y'all soft as hell. If it wasn't for us, you feel me, y'all wouldn't be popping. The French been surrendering since 1622 or some shit like that. They waving the white flag every time they get. Hey, we kind of bullies today. We the bully panel today.
I dropped the link for the bug eating in the main chat. So it's a real thing. I dropped the link for the bug eating on the YouTube main chat. So you guys can click on it and read it. I'm not making this shit up. World Economic Forum. I dropped the link.
Well, also, people said that Trump was a bully this week. He's worked out a deal to buy Greenland. We're going to talk about it. We're going to shift gears to that.
Piece of ice for world protection, and they won't give it. We've never asked for anything else, and we could have kept that piece of land, and we didn't. So they have a choice. You can say yes, and we will be very appreciative, or you can say no, and we will remember.
So, Doc, thank you for your service. I can never say it enough. As someone that served in the armed forces, do you think Trump was being a bully with Greenland, or should we just take it?
I think it's a little bit of he on a high. I think he realized how easy he removed someone from Venezuela, and he's on a high thinking that, like, you know, it would be as easy to take this property from someone else. Do I think they would beat us? Absolutely not. Is that something I would sacrifice my son to as well? Absolutely not. I know they have this notion that there's submarines going around Greenland and all of these things. We have the same technology. We have better technology than a lot of these countries. We're more than capable of defending ourselves. I don't think anyone's son needs to die. The country's been here forever. We never owned Greenland. So I think we would be fine. You know, we haven't owned it before. I think we will be all right if we don't own it now. So I wouldn't have anyone else's son die for something pointless. Also because, I mean, none of them are going to go. None of them are going to volunteer. None of them are going to sign up. So they don't know what it looks like. And I think just after people have seen some of these shootings on cameras and stuff like that, I realized that American people don't know what it really looks like when it gets ugly, because a lot of that stuff is light. So when you see what it really looks like and it's really bad, and you see somebody, the copper plate in front of it, and it melts when it blows up, and it rips through the truck and it rips someone in half, and you take them out of two parts and all of the guts fall out. I think that'll be a different feel for the American people to see that on camera. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just think people have to think about that. Like, would you offer your son up for this cause? And I wouldn't. So I don't think we should.
So we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to explain to the American people and our viewers why Greenland is or isn't important to be bought. So this clip right here, let's start with question. Nick Shirley went over there. do they even want to be bought?